Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Thursday just after Mikel Arteta's press conference ahead of Saturday's game against Norwich. As always, I thought I'd just quickly pop on here, talk a little bit about what Mikel had to say. Got plenty of updates, mainly about team news, quite a lot of stuff going on at the moment. Certainly on some comments on Tomiyasu, Smith Rowe. Good news on the likes of Thomas Partey, Gabriel, as we've discussed as well. So plenty going on at the moment. A little bit of a doubt over Sambi Lokonga at the moment, which is a bit of a worry because I was expecting he would start, but he wasn't involved for Wales last night. Wales wasn't involved for Belgium last night. And Roberto Martinez has been speaking about that, and Arsenal will assess him when he gets back. Training isn't until later on today. I'm recording this about sort of 1:30, I think, on Thursday, and the training session is going to be later this afternoon because Arsenal have been giving the players who have been away on international duty time to return to London Colney before having a later session. So Arsenal are going to assess some of those players later, and Lokonga will certainly be one of those players. And Arsenal hope that he's fit and available because obviously we know there's no Mohamed El-Neni. He's out for 2 or 3 weeks now with an injury, and Granit Xhaka is suspended. And so providing Lokonga is fit, then you would think it would be Thomas Partey. He would be in alongside Thomas Partey in central midfield. So we will have to wait and see on that. And fingers crossed all is okay with him. Let's quickly go on team news. Arsenal have put out their update they usually do ahead of the press conference. Good news, Partey, Gabriel, White and Nketiah all fully fit and available and in contention to start or be in the squad against Norwich at the weekend. El-Neni, as I mentioned, out for 2 or 3 weeks now. No mention in the team news update on Arsenal.com about Emile Smith Rowe and about Sambi Lokonga, but Mikel talking about Smith Rowe and why he came back from England under 21 duties. He said he's carrying an illness. He's not been feeling good. Let's see how he is in the next couple of days. So certainly a big doubt over Emile Smith Rowe ahead of the game at the weekend. And this is what Roberto Martinez had to say on Sambi. He said, regarding Sambi, his omission was not a sporting choice. There was a small warning. I would not speak of injury, but of discomfort in training. So he decided not to take any risk given the condition. So Belgium sort of erring on the side of caution there, which Arsenal will be very, very happy with. Doesn't sound like it's anything too serious at all. And Arsenal will be hoping he will be involved at the weekend. But like I said, they will assess him once he gets back to London Colney and the medical staff can have a good look at him. I think one of the main lines to come out of the press conference was regarding Arsenal's new signing, Takehiro Tomiyasu, who's been away with Japan, is back in London now, and Arsenal have been working on getting a work permit done in time for him to be involved this weekend. Now, I think a lot of us, to be honest, I just expected it was already done yet. I think everyone else did, but Mikel revealing in the press conference that it's not. He said, we need the work permit first. The club is trying hard to achieve that in the next couple hours. He's back in the country now. I'll meet him for the first time today and probably train with him, see how he is, get a feel for it. He has been playing, so he should be completely fit. We have been impressed. That is the reason we decided to sign him. Now, in terms of my understanding of the work permit process, the reason Arsenal haven't been able to do that until now, or start that until now, is because he needs to be in the country. So they've had to wait for him to finish international duty, get over here, and then the process has started. And Arsenal, from what I'm told, are very confident that this will be done. They're in the final stages of getting that process completed now, and he will be done. I think it needs to be fully registered by about midday tomorrow, and Arsenal are confident that that will be done and he will be involved. Whether he starts, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the bench. I think to throw him straight in when he's only had 1 day or 2 days at London Colney, probably trained with the group twice, it's probably a big ask to throw him straight into the starting lineup. So I wouldn't be surprised against Norwich if we again see Cedric or Callum Chambers as the right back in that one, and then gradually Tomiyasu will be brought into the fold, and probably up at Burnley in the next game he will start that one. Mikel was asked, what about him and why he signed him. He said, look, Tommy has the capacity to play in any position in the back four. He's done it across the back four and in the back three as well. He gives us that versatility. He gives different qualities in that right back position, and he's a player we've followed for a long time. He brings us qualities that we didn't have in the squad. Now, he is obviously a versatile player. We know that he can play at centre back, he can play at left back because he's very two-footed, good in the air as well. But he has been brought in to be Arsenal's right back. If Arsenal are going to play a back three, then they certainly have the option of playing him on the right side there. But Tomiyasu has been signed as Arsenal's right back. They've needed one. That's been clear for a long time. They spent the summer looking for one. They got him in right at the end. And once he's sort of fully acclimatised to England, to the players, to the squad, to the way of playing, I fully expect he will be Arsenal's starting right back when Mikel picks his strongest team. So that's the latest when it comes to Tomiyasu. I mean, he's been brought in because Hector Bellerin has gone out. He's obviously at Real Betis now on loan. Mikel has talked a little bit about him. He said he's been a really important part of everything that happened at Arsenal in the last 10 years. He's an exceptional player, incredible person. He will be missed. He's loved by everybody at the club. He needed a new challenge. He needed a new challenge for a while, so we decided to let him go. So explaining the reasons behind Hector Bellerin's departure to Real Betis. A couple other sort of lines from the press conference. Mikel spoke a little bit about the interview that Edu gave during the international break, and explained again the kind of reasonings for Arsenal's transfer strategy and the work that's been done over the summer and why Arsenal have gone down the route they have in the transfer window. So he spoke a little bit about that. He spoke about Jack Wilshere, saying that the door is always open to Jack, potentially to return to train, not to sign, but potentially to train with the club. Jack's been training out in Italy, everywhere, trying to get himself a club. Remarkable, he hasn't got one over here, really. I mean, he didn't have. He showed one. He was at Bournemouth. He was still a decent player. I'm really surprised he hasn't got a club. He's been training over in Italy, hasn't found anything over there. So Arteta was asked about the situation with Jack, given that they're old teammates, and he said the door was always open. Whether that's just a kind of throwaway line in a press conference, it kind of, to me, feels like it. I doubt we'll see Jack Wilshere training with Arsenal, but you never know. Maybe he will reach out and Arteta will allow him down to London Colney. I think everyone connected with Arsenal wants to see Jack back playing football and find himself a club, because he deserves it, and he's injury free. He's not got the whole ankle injury that we know plagued him during his time at Arsenal. That hasn't really bothered him for a while now. So again, it really surprises me that he hasn't got himself a club. Okay, so look, massive game for Arsenal against Norwich at the weekend. We know that. We know the dreadful start that they've had. And it's huge for Arteta. This run of games coming up now. This goes horribly wrong for him, for Arsenal. Then he could well be looking for a new job at some point, because he can't stay rooted to the bottom of the table with Arsenal and find himself in a job. It just doesn't. It can't happen. You can't be manager of Arsenal, be bottom of the Premier League without a win, without a goal, and not end up getting the sack if you can't turn that round. He's very confident that he can turn it around. He spoke about that. He said, look, I'm really looking forward to having everyone available and trying to get the seasons, trying to start the season the way we want. We don't want to use any excuses. We know how difficult the start has been for us with injuries, with COVID issues we had, and the extremely difficult games we had to play. But now we have to reset. We need to start, hopefully get everybody back on track and start to win football matches. He certainly does need to do that. He was after Norwich was a must win. He says it always is at Arsenal, and the pressure is always there to be as high as possible in that league table. We need to get the first win. We are going to play in front of our fans after a disappointing start, so it's down to us to provide everything we have performance-wise to earn the result we want at the end. I mean, to be honest, when it comes to Mikel and everyone at Arsenal, the time for talking is pretty much over now. They just have to start producing on the pitch. He knows that. The players know that. Edu, I'm sure, and all the hierarchy know that this can't continue. Arsenal can't continue to be bottom of the Premier League. They can't continue not to win matches. They can't continue not to score goals. So they've got to turn it around very, very quickly, and that has to start on Saturday against Norwich. I mean, if this goes wrong against Norwich at home, Norwich only kept off the bottom of the table by Arsenal because of the one goal Norwich have scored this season. Arsenal need to be putting them to the sword this Saturday. They need to play well as well for me. Not so much about, it is about the result. Arsenal have to get the result, but they also have to play well. I want to come away from that game on Saturday thinking, you can see, that's it. Kind of, they're on now. We've got some of the players back. You're going to have Thomas Partey hopefully back in central midfield. You're going to have that Gabriel and Gabriel and Ben White partnership at centre-back that we want to see, you know, really sort of grow. Arteta did speak about that in the press conference, and how that, you know, they've got to start training together really regularly now and playing together and build that relationship up, because, you know, that should be the centre-back partnership that takes Arsenal forward over the next season or two as well. Then you're going to add Tomiyasu to that mix on the right-hand side. You've got a fit Thomas Partey back in central midfield. Hopefully you've got a very sharp Auba up the top as well, and the results have got to come now. As Arteta said, there's no time for excuses. There are no excuses. It's just about winning, and that has to start against Norwich on Saturday. All right, anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Appreciate your time as always. Just a quick press conference reaction from me. I will try and do another one tomorrow, looking ahead a bit more detail at that Norwich game, the big decisions facing Mikel Arteta in terms of team selection, and I will give my predicted 11 as always. Till then, everyone, enjoy your day. I'll speak to you soon.